Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Huber Opera House and Community Center here in downtown Hicksville, Ohio. I am Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Chris Feeker did I say it right?
Fichter, yes.
Fichter, okay, Fichter. I was close. I was only 1 for 4 last time we talked,
That's right.
so we'll try. Chris Feechter is here with me from the Huber Opera House, and we are starting. This is the first of what's going to be several programs throughout the year, and we're kind of excited about it. People familiar with the Huber, and you've been around for a long time, know that you have a newsletter that you put out, the Huber Headliner, that sort of goes through all the things that are going on. And with the unfortunate demise of the local paper, we were trying to figure out some way that we could sort of maybe pick up the slack a little bit and get the word out about things that go on here at the Huber Opera House. So we came up with the idea of doing the Huber Headliner live. Every other month, we're going to be getting together here at the Huber, one place or another. There are so many little nooks and crannies and interesting places to set up a camera here in this building that probably no two shows are going to be in the same location. But we're going to be spending some time to talk about upcoming things that are happening, looking ahead, telling people about opportunities they have if they want to support the Huber in various ways, and just kind of keep the community updated with what's going on here at this tremendous facility. Because, again, a lot of people, I tend to forget that in many ways this is still a sort of a work in progress. I mean, there is still work being done here, and you add a little bit more every now and then. So again, we're hoping that this will be a way that we can keep you all up to date with what we're doing here at the Huber, or what they're doing here at the Huber, and make sure that you don't miss out on any of the great entertainment that you provide for the community. So I'm going on and on because the Huber is underwriting these programs. They're the exclusive sponsor, and again, they'll be coming to you every other month. This is the first one. It's technically the second because we did this back in December,
Right.
and we enjoyed it so much that we decided that we were going to make it an ongoing thing. So we'll be doing February, April, June, August, October, and December. So we'll have these coming up, and again, I'm really kind of excited about it. I mean, and I cannot think of a better way to start our inaugural program than where we are located right here, because everybody has probably realized right now that we are on the stage and we are on the set, and there are going to be actors here starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tell us about what's going on.
Okay, so we're currently sitting at the table on Golden Pond in Maine in the 1980s. So that's the setting for our show on Golden Pond, which is coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday night at 7 and Sunday at 2:30. So there are tickets available at the door, so we'd love to have you come and see this one. It's a very endearing story, a sweet, sweet story about love at all stages of life. And the actors have really done a wonderful job of bringing this particular production to life.
Yeah, now, I stuck my nose in earlier in the week because I was hoping that we'd be able to do this program here, and I wanted to see how the set was laid out. Sometimes sets are not amenable to setting up a camera and having a conversation like we're
Right.
doing, but I was kind of hopeful because, again, a lot of this show takes place with people sitting around this table or over in these easy chairs and talking. And I don't want to give too much away, but there's some interesting conversations. We'll put it that way. But I was really I got to see a little bit of the stage work being done, and have some wonderful. I didn't see the entire cast, but what I saw looked really, really good. So I guess the first thing I was hoping you would share with us is tell us a little bit about who's involved with this show and who's going to be up on stage over the weekend.
Okay, so we have our actors are Norman Thayer, who is the main character, and that's been played by Dan Blow. And he comes to us from Paulding. He was the general in White Christmas, if you got to
Okay.
catch that one. So he's also our set designer and has done a marvelous job of setting up this set. Then we have Colleen Richter, who is Hicksville native, and she plays his wife, Ethel. And she did this show, did not play Ethel, she played a different character, but she did this show several years ago, I think it was almost 40 years ago, over in Front Row Theater.
Okay.
So when they had done it back then. So we have her as as his husband. Then their daughter, Colleen, their daughter is Kathy Kennedy, who is has gone off in the world and is, comes back to the pond to see her folks. Her fiance to be husband is played by Jason Williams, who again you saw in White Christmas. Kathy was also in White Christmas in the chorus. And then we have another character in the show is Charlie, the mailman, and that's played by Cord Earhart from Antwerp. And then there's a son of the fiance, and that's being played by Henry Gerschutz. I hope I pronounced his name right,
yep.
but yeah, he's been in a couple of our younger shows for our kids shows that come up in the summer. So that's who's in the cast. Julie Hall is the director, I'm the producer, and we have Elizabeth Vance and Peggy Sisko who are doing all the tech for us. So very small group this time.
But sometimes those are the best kind of shows. I mean, it's a character study. I'm sure many people, even if you haven't seen the movie, you're familiar with the film that had Henry Fonda and his daughter Jane and so forth. And it is a fun show. He's a crotchety retired academician, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And so it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of interest. I know that there are some people that you said were wondering if it was going to be a dinner theater, but that was not.
We didn't have enough reservations to make that worth our
possible.
while.
So it'll be just a regular show, but again, tickets available, and you can either get them at the door or can they go through HuberOperaHouse.org?
We've turned those online. We always turn off the week of the show. So yeah, you get your tickets at the door at this point.
All right, so tickets are available at the door, and again, 7 o'clock curtain time on Friday and Saturday, and 2:30 Sunday matinee, and again, that is this weekend. So wanted to make sure that's part of the reason this is kind of a hurried thing, because I was sitting earlier in the week, and I was like, I need to get a hold of the Huber, and get our first program set up. And then I was like, holy smoke, they got a show this weekend, so we need to try to get out there to let people know about this great program that is coming up, and hopefully encourage everybody to come on out. It is a really terrific show. I've been in the show too in years past, and it is a lot of fun. It's both cast or in the audience, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it on Golden Pond. And again, that is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here at the Huber. Another big show that you have coming up is in conjunction with the high school, and that's going to kick off the month of March.
Correct. On March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, they come in and they do their production of Les Mis. So they have so many talented kids. We get to enjoy a lot of those kids in the summer in our summer programs. But there's a lot of talent there, and so they will be coming in, and they do all of their production and set and everything on their own. So that comes in. The next weekend after that, then, is Coronation.
Yep.
So those of you that are Hicksville folks know what Coronation is. If you're not from Hicksville, it's just a thing.
Yeah, it's
It's a
the senior
Hicksville thing.
the senior class
Skits
lets
and-
their hair down a little bit and has
Yeah.
some fun, and sort of gets a little bit of the senioritis out of their system before they have to buckle down, and because they still got about 2 months to go before they get the cap and gown. But it's always a fun night. That's usually on a Saturday.
Yeah,
and
it's on a Saturday night.
And I think they usually 6 o'clock is the start time for that.
Yes.
And then for the high school musical, I think Mrs. Gherkin usually has a little later start time at 7:30.
She starts at 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, and at 2 on Sunday.
Yeah, so-
kind of the opposite of what we do.
But
time-wise,
this is a terrific show too, and I do want to let people know that they are not doing the full Broadway version, because the full Broadway version is like 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's a very long show. They're doing a scaled down version, but I understand it's still going to be about a 2-hour long show.
Yeah.
But the kids are looking forward to it. They're itching. I've had so many people. Are you going to be there with the cameras? I say, yes, we'll be there so the kids can get a DVD copy of their performance. And again, it's a great way for the community to come out to not only support the drama department at the high school, but also it does serve as a fundraiser for the Huber as well. When you come in, they have, the school insists that buckets are set out, that people can also make donations to help with the Huber operations.
well, and buy popcorn.
No, yeah,
Yes,
and
yeah, popcorn and candy and pop.
they've got the concession
we
stand.
got the concessions for every show. Yeah.
So, I was looking ahead, and I noticed that you've got St. Patrick's Day
Yes, we do have a St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day. This is a new band to us. They came to us and asked if they could perform here. So
Okay.
we've set up a date on March 17th. It's the new Millennium Jazz Orchestra. They will have a vocalist, and then they will be doing the big band sound,
Okay.
from the 50s, and it should be a great presentation by them.
Yeah,
so that's on a Sunday afternoon, the 17th at 3 p.m.
All right. The vocalist is Dan Heath.
Yes.
And again, the high caliber big band jazz music is what they
Yeah.
say. And best of all, price is right. It's a free will offering, so everybody's welcome to
Absolutely.
come out St. Patrick's afternoon, enjoy some great big band. You got to get out there, do that swing dancing.
Yep, we'll have room for dancing.
So ought to be an awful lot of fun. And I know that there's a lot more that you have you've actually put together a lot of your schedule for the remainder of 2024. So I mean, you do have a lot of you got some neat stuff that's coming up.
Okay, we have another play coming up, and we'll be doing auditions for that actually in a week or so here on
Okay.
February 22nd. It's called The Charitable Sisterhood of the Second Trinity Victory Church. And it's
Okay.
a comedy and a smaller, shorter play, but it will be a lot of fun. So we're looking for primarily women. I think there's one man in it, but primarily women, middle-aged and younger, to be in that show. So that's coming up then in April after the school
Okay.
has March pretty much. And then the other big thing that's happening right now is our registration has opened for our kids camp.
Okay.
That's June 4th to the 13th. Kids camp runs Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays during the day, and then at the end of the second week, we do a performance. So
All right.
that includes costumes and set, and the kids
All right.
memorize their lines, and it's the whole 9 yards for the little kids.
Yeah,
So
and it can be for the younger ones like an introduction to the basics
It
of
is.
theater.
It is,
And then
yeah.
the older kids always get a kick out of helping the newer ones along, and
they
and
do.
So it's a lot of fun. Now, do they have a production picked out that they're going to be working
yes,
on?
the
Or
production is called Stone Dragons 2.
okay.
So, and it's your typical, conflict with a dragon, and somebody has to slay the dragon
Yeah.
to save the town, and those kinds of things. So, it'll be a really cute production for them to do, and that's for our 6 to 11-year-olds,
Okay.
or 12 if they're very new to the theater scene, and
Mm-hmm.
and we introduce them to a lot of the terminology of the stage and how to do a lot of the set pieces
Mm-hmm.
and all those kinds of things. So they get a good introduction to
Yeah.
the theater, and then they kind of grow into then our older kids who are doing Guys and Dolls. And
Okay.
they are not doing the junior version. They are doing the full production.
All right.
Of Guys and Dolls. Yes, a lot of these kids have been with us for 6,
Mm-hmm.
7 years, and they really have the skills and the need to want to do a full production. So last summer we did the full production of Big Fish, which was very successful. And so this summer we've picked out Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls. All right.
Kind of a different, another little bit different. We're trying to introduce them to, some of the classics. And so that one is coming up. And those auditions are the first week in May 2nd and 4th.
right.
But they'll be looking forward to those. But registration is open for both of those camps at this point. And last year, our little kids camp that we run in June for the 6 to 11-year-olds filled up. So some people have already been asking for registration. And yes,
Okay.
that's open. You just get a registration form, fill it out, and
Yeah.
when I get to 48 kids, we're done. That's about all we can handle.
Right. I want to take a bit of a break here at this point because I know that when we get talking about this stuff, sometimes it goes by very quickly. So I want to make sure everybody is aware that you do have a website. It's huberoperahouse.org, and almost everything that we have talked about is on the website. If you want to get information on how to contact the Huber, if you want to look at the upcoming schedule for
Yep.
performances at the Huber,
Yep.
if you want to find out about the youth theater camps, any of the other, all of that information is on huberoperahouse.org. So if it goes by too quickly when we're on with you live, and you're like, oh, I missed that phone number, oh, I forgot those dates, don't worry about it. Just remember huberoperahouse.org. It's like a clearinghouse for all the things going on here at the Huber.
Yep, Absolutely.
And you do a really good job too with that website. It's usually up to date, and
I just updated a couple
yeah.
things on it today, so yes.
Yep, so
I try and do it every other week, try and keep things up to date on there, so,
Yep.
yep.
so have we covered pretty much everything that's going to be going on from the remainder of February and through March? I mean, we've got the jazz band, you've got
Yeah.
the Coronation, Les Miserables, and of course on Golden Pond this weekend. Aside from that, I know that there's still a lot of stuff going on, because one of the things we want to stress to people is this is a community center as well as the Opera House. And so, I mean, if you're looking for a venue, if you want to do a wedding, if you want to do a bachelorette party type of thing,
Yeah.
if you have a
50th
business
50th
dinner,
wedding
yeah,
anniversaries, yeah.
a seminar, or a training for your business, anything along those
anything along
lines,
those
you have space available.
We do.
You've got this large auditorium, and this has been used in the past. I mean, you've had like wine tasting, you had different vintners here with, and you've had like some trade show type places with different companies or different individuals with their wares on display and so forth. But as you said, you know, you've had rehearsal dinners, and you've got the community room up front. There's some space up on the second floor as well. So I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, and it really does go a long way. Not only do you get to have this, I mean, this historic building that dates back to the 1800s, and this theater, which is sort of a hybrid, but it is a throw. This is like walking into a theater that like you would see right around 1900 to 1920, I would say.
Yep.
And so you've got that atmosphere here, and again, it's not outrageously priced, and again, you know that money is going to help with the operations here at the Huber to allow it to continue to be this focal point here in Hicksville.
Yes, you know, the money also, a lot of people say, well, what happens to the money? Well, first of all, we have, you know, our patrons of the arts who give annually, and that money goes for operating fund. And the operating fund turns the lights on and pays the heat bill and pays for the, you know, telephone and all
Yeah.
of those kinds of things. So, you know, the bills that you pay monthly at your house, we pay monthly here, including garbage and sewer and water and all of those things. So that kind of money, you know, is just for us to keep the doors open and,
Yeah.
and keep things rolling. And then we do have other contributors, or when we make profits on some of the events that we have, then we roll that back in for the next set of events
Yeah.
or the next piece. And we always put a piece to the side for the repairs and updating
Yep.
and upkeeps. Now, we recently had to repair, you know, some walls that had had some damage, and so that from rain and
Yeah.
you know, the ice and all of that good stuff. So it's just like at your house, you know, there's always
Yeah.
something that needs repaired or needs fixed up, and to keep it in good shape. So
Yeah.
those are the kinds of things
Yeah.
that are
And
helpful.
and really, you know, this is a theater, and because of that, the lights here use a little more electricity than the
Yes.
lights at home. And the heating and cooling takes a little more oomph. And believe me, I speak from experience. If you are in this theater, like doing rehearsals or whatever, with the heat not on,
It's a little chilly.
We'd be backstage, you know, with the coats on or whatever. But we did it because it saved a lot of money, and we turned the heat on production week, and that would
Right.
be about it. And I mean, you know, imagine a closet the size of a two-car garage, because they've got one upstairs, and it's filled with clothing. Some of it new, but some of it is vintage. I mean, some of those clothes are donated. I mean, they have suits that were made in the 30s and dresses from the 20s, and you gotta climate control that, because otherwise all of that
It
wardrobe
disintegrates,
will
yeah.
disintegrate or mold out. You know, and so there are really truly, I mean, legitimate expenses that you have to pay. And the other thing is that, you know, it is a theater, so you've got to have anymore. You've got to have Wi-Fi. You've got to have the big lighting board. You've got, you know, LED lights or whatever, but you got a lot of them, and you got to have the Wi-Fi.
Right.
You've got to be able to drop the, you know, and when new stuff comes along, because you have artists who will come here to perform,
Correct.
and they like to be able to come in and just say, hey, where's your soundboard, so my sound guy could plug
Yeah.
the stuff in, and you go right there, And if they go, okay, that's fine, but if they're going, we need to hook this up, and so, so you need to sort of keep up to date
Right.
with the technology too. So, I mean, it really it can be a big challenge.
It is a big challenge. It is a big challenge. And one of the things that I talked, the productions, and we've had some profits from our productions. So we were able to invest in more microphones. So for Adam's family, when we had a lot of our junior kids that were in that, and they are such great vocalists, and so we wanted to highlight them, and so we were able to put mics not only just on the major
Yep.
roles, but also on all of those, people that were in the
In the chorus, and,
chorus
and
and
so
the
forth.
background and so forth. And people were like, wow, the sound. Well, that's because we upgraded.
Yeah.
And if you go to see a professional show, you will notice every single person on stage is microphone.
Yep.
So we're able to do that to a great degree
Yeah.
now. Of course, White Christmas, we had a few more than
Yep.
what we could do, but we did put a lot of mics on the stage,
Yeah.
and it really makes a difference for the quality of the performance and for
Yeah.
the audience. And so those are the kinds of things that
Yep.
it's a continual process.
And if you use microphones, you use batteries.
Yes.
And you spend, because if you're going to do it right, I mean, if you go to a professional show, and this is true, you go to a professional show, if you get to the theater and you're backstage about 3 hours before the curtain lifts, there's a guy there or a gal, and all they're doing is putting fresh, brand new batteries into each and every microphone and each and every microphone receiver. They take no chances.
No
They
chances.
replace them for every performance. So that can be 2 things of batteries a day for some days when they have a matinee and
Right.
so I know I wish I had the money to be able to do that myself, but we don't. And the schools say, you try to get through a week with a set of batteries, but you want to always have at least, you got to have enough on standby. And like I said, I don't know if you try to change them out every other day
We have
or how.
we have quite a few that are rechargeable. And
Okay,
and
that's
we've
good.
invested in some rechargeables, but we do put fresh batteries, brand new fresh batteries in for performances.
Yeah, so.
And try and get through the weekend. And
Yeah.
usually the 3 performances, they'll last about that long, but always extras
Yeah.
backstage for when those.
So again,
go.
like I said, there are
all
these
those
little hidden expenses you don't think about, but they are there. Now you've mentioned that one of the great ways that people in this community, whether it's as an individual or as a business or a group or organization, can help support the Huber is through your Patrons of the Arts program. Tell us a little bit more about becoming a patron of the arts here at the Huber.
Okay. Patrons of the Arts, we have, people that give annually, and so we always send out a letter to them in December asking them to contribute for the next year. There's a poster that hangs out in the lobby that we always change for each year, and those are the folks that give. The levels are to give $250, $500, $750, or $1,000 for the year. And then those folks will receive 2 tickets, coupons for tickets for any of our shows that are coming up that are Huber shows. Now,
Yeah.
we can't do it for the
Yeah.
school because that's not
Yeah.
not our show, but any of our Huber shows. And so then they could just call and reserve their seats with those tickets. And that's 2 for each $250 that you give.
Okay, so $1,000 would give you
8 tickets,
Okay.
yeah, for the year, which pretty much will get you 2 people into
And 4 shows.
pretty much
Yeah.
all 4 shows. Our kids show we don't do tickets
Okay.
for, so those are our 4 major shows in the year. So that's another plus for them, but it also is a way that we can thank our patrons and say, yes, please come and enjoy our productions, and thank you for giving.
Yeah.
So that is available to anyone, and they just have to, come see me and say, I'd
Yeah.
like to be a patron, or hand me a check, which I've had happen a few times at productions, and they just, here's something for the
Yeah.
Huber. Okay,
I
thank you.
I couldn't believe what a great show that was.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
come back. So yeah.
So we do have, that program that's up and running, and we do have more patrons of the arts this year than we've had in the
Good.
past.
And your feature, they're printed in the programs.
They're printed in
and-
all the programs.
And like I said, and you have the things out front, so they do get recognized.
Yes, they
and
do.
like I said, you do have you have a lot of people that have stepped up to help out and
Yeah.
by giving financially to the Huber. I mean, it's
Yes. Or if there's some particular project that you would like some money to go to, like say if you want to help us out with more lighting or, getting more mics or helping us with, just our building fund, which is a capital improvements fund now so that we can repair the doors and the windows. And that's another big project we have right now is to look at replacing some of the windows in front because all of the seals are broken and they look foggy all the time. So that's kind of next on our list.
It's like a never-ending battle.
It's never-ending. So we're trying to accumulate some extra funding for that because we know that's going to be a rather large expenditure when we get to do that. So that's if you have a special project, if you want to go to the kids program or whatever.
And there have been people that they've given it in memory of people out front. You've got the bricks.
Yes, we do. Have
Can
bricks.
People still get bricks?
We
Okay.
can. There's still any brick that you see that's just a brick that's not written on is still available. So those are available to be ordered in memory of somebody. Like the class of 78, from a high school or in memory of someone who's passed or, whatever. We can always do that or a special occasion. Yeah. So, we can do those.
There are many, many ways that you can support. And we've been talking financially, but beyond that, I mean, if somebody's interested in helping out, being an usher, helping out with assisting handicapped people in and out of the theater, selling concessions,
just let us know.
giving tours. There's plenty of...
There's plenty of things to do. I mean, I usually put something out on Facebook and I'll call when we're ready to put the Christmas trees up and then take the Christmas trees down. That's a big job, but you get half dozen people here and it really doesn't take that long. So those are all kinds of little jobs that happen in-house and yes, we count on those volunteers continually to help us with things.
If you're one of those people that likes to be like a carpenter or build stuff or whatever, come and cut your teeth on. They'll teach you how to build sets here. I mean, there's no short. I mean, if you've got a skill, odds are there's something in this building that you can put that towards.
Or an interest.
Yeah.
We can teach you the skill
that is
if
true.
you have the interest.
Like I said, if you've ever wanted to take a crack at being on stage, if you want to be able to learn how to light that is here. I mean, you can learn how to do that here. There are great people who can show you and teach you how to do all that sort of stuff as well.
We're always looking to expand a lot of our technical people. So, and even just backstage crew. Like in between the scenes on Golden Pond, the fruit bowl goes on, the fruit bowl goes off, and the next scene it's something else. It's a couple.
How many people do you have in your backstage crew? I mean, you've got a cast of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7. But how many people are backstage?
Julie and I.
Just 2. Now, normally it's like almost 1-to-1.
Well, normally we have at least 2 people on each side.
Yeah.
In addition to Julie and I. So, and I don't typically come backstage and do a lot, but for this particular production, I don't really need to be out in the lobby for the whole, the whole time. So, I'm backstage.
And it varies from show to show because you'll have shows where you will need people to pull backdrops and people will need to slide stuff off and on stage in front of them. And sometimes you have set pieces that rotate one way. It's a store window and they flip it around and it's somebody's bedroom. And so you got to have people that be able to spin stuff around and lock it down and hit their marks and so forth. And sometimes you got to open and close the curtains. Sometimes you got to have people up in the gallery and the catwalk and flying stuff or whatever. So I mean, it varies from show to show.
It does.
And sometimes too, if you've got a quick change, somebody goes off stage and they literally need 3 people because they got to completely change a costume in like 14 seconds or something like that and get back on stage.
And it's been done.
Yeah, it can be done. There's an art and a science to it, and it's fascinating to learn how to do it. It's one of those things that if you've done it, if you've done quick changes or whatever, it's sort of like a magician. You don't want to reveal the secret because it takes away from if you're in the audience, you don't know. You want to be magical. But I mean, it's really stagecraft has so many cool things.
There are so many cool things.
And you never learn them all. You always learn new stuff every time you do things. So
well, just even painting the set. I mean, as somebody
painters,
the painters,
And sometimes the time you need people the most is when you're done. You need people to come and take it all down and
And
pack
do
it
the
all
strike.
up and put it away
Yep.
and drive it over to the storage or whatever, wherever it goes. And that can be kind of tough sometimes too, getting enough people, but you do
Yeah.
it.
We do it.
Get some
We do it. It's
pizza
all
and-
part of the process. That's right. So we've been pretty good with being able to organize our strikes down to where it's like an hour.
Yeah. Well,
once we get
you've
started,
got a
so-
really good group here. It's the Opera
It
Lane
is.
Performers, right? Is that what is it the Performer, Opera Lane?
Performers.
Performers. They're a terrific group.
They are.
They're the home group, I guess. They're the Huber's own company. You also have C.C. Banks that will come and do the high school. Other groups come in. Sometimes you have bands and so forth who hire the venue or ask
Right.
if they could use it and allow you to sort of split the proceeds and so forth.
Correct.
So if somebody is out there and they have an interest in putting on a show, doing a performance here, I mean, you've shown movies, you've had travel logs, you've had people come in here and just do like lectures, whatever. How do they go about doing that? Is it just basically calling the office?
Call the
and-
office and talk to us. In fact, we do have one coming up, I will mention, in April. Bill Hinch, who is a
Yes.
Hicksville native, and he has done a picture, painted a picture that is Ohioans in space, and it features all of the astronauts that have been in space from Ohio, and it's now hanging in the State House
Yep.
in Ohio. So he is coming around to speak on that, and we're hosting him April 18th
Yep.
at 7 p.m. to do a little,
Yep.
explanation of how that all came about and how he figured out how to stage the painting and the whole process. So we're real excited to have that kind of almost a lecture series,
Yeah.
but not a lecture series. It'll be interactive because he'll answer a lot of
Yeah,
questions.
and he's crowdfunding for. They want to do a documentary about how he did the
Right.
painting. So he's crowdfunding. He's got a promotional video that he brings along.
Yeah.
He actually had to do like a spec painting to show them to give him a rough idea. So he was at the Hicksville Rotary so he actually
Right.
brought that painting with him got to see the painting that the regular the big painting is based on this one, and he's a Hicksville guy. He's really, really nice, interesting too, and knows
Yeah.
a ton of stuff. He was a editorial cartoonist over at the Toledo Blade and so forth for many years and whatnot. So that's something to look forward to. Encourage people to come out for that.
Yes,
And,
so that's something a little bit different. It's not,
yeah, and
it's not a performance on
and it just
stage, but-
demonstrates the flexibility of this facility too, where you
Absolutely.
can do all those sort of things. So, well, before we get ready to wrap things up and pass along again contact information and so forth, I wanted to ask. I mean, you've been putting together your season going through the end of the year. So we've mentioned on Golden Pond, but is there anything that you're really kind of looking for, really excited about between now and the end of the year?
Okay, so, well, I always get excited about the kids in the
Yeah.
summer because I'm a former educator, so that's kind of my cup of tea. But we also have in October, we have Little Shop of Horrors.
Ah,
And our own Jennifer Ankney is going to be directing that one.
Okay.
So that's a musical. So that will be in October. And then we don't have a exact date yet, but we are doing wine tasting this year. And I know several people have asked about wine
All right.
tasting. So we're going to try and make it an every other year event.
Okay.
But this is the year. We
All
haven't
right.
done it. We didn't do it last year, so we'll do it this year. So that'll be in early November.
all right.
So,
Now, and are you hoping to do another dinner theater performance at sometime this year?
I believe our Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
We probably will do a dinner for that. Yeah, that one is planned to be a dinner theater.
All right. So looking forward to
yeah.
that. I always look forward to see the plant.
Yeah, and then this December will be 25 years since they actually got the mortgage and
Okay.
became a nonprofit and incorporated and all of that. So it actually got the ball rolling. So December of '99. So December of '24 will be 25
Your
years.
25th anniversary.
So we are looking
Okay.
at some things that we're going to do starting in December through next year that will highlight and be more of a memorial type
All
thing
right.
to, and thank you to all of those people who have done such a marvelous job
Yeah,
of getting this
it's
place
quite a list of the
up and
people that have been
rolling.
involved over the years here, and
Yes,
and,
hundreds.
and sadly, many of them are no longer with us.
We have
but
lost a
we
lot.
remember them, and again, the nice thing is that new people keep coming along. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a bug that gets under your skin. You just can't not be here sometimes. So
So that's the long term plans, but we are starting to plan those things now.
Good, good.
Because you always need 6 to 8 months to get things
I'll look
rolling,
forward to it because
so.
it's going to be a fun year then as we work
Yes.
towards this year, and we'll be here every other month and fill people in on what's going on at the Huber, and start working towards the 25th anniversary celebration. And we'll be here with a live program in December, so we can maybe be a part of it some way or another. We'll have to see how things work out.
Be
But
great.
really look forward to it. Now, again, all the things that we have talked about, you can. If you have any questions, if you would like to get involved, if you'd like to help support the Huber, again, there are many, many ways to do it. You can call Chris here. The Huber number, I want to make sure, I don't want to give out the other number, is 419-542-9553. So 419-542-9553. Or huberoperahouse.org. And that way, if you go to huberoperahouse.org, they have a contact us that you can click. It's got an email that you can email the Huber directly. And I think that, again, up to a week before showtime, you can go to the online ticket ordering.
Right.
And again, there's just many, many ways. And so if you have, if there's something you'd like to do, if there's something you're curious about, you have any questions, you want to get tickets for a show, that's the way to do it. And
really is.
everyone is welcome to come to the shows, and everyone is welcome to participate in helping to contribute to the arts here in this fine facility.
And one of the best ways you can contribute is come to the shows.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And
So-
again, this weekend.
This weekend's a
Can't-
perfect stand. If you've got a sweetheart and you need,
Yeah.
you know.
If you messed up today
Yeah.
and you didn't have the roses or whatever, you can just say, well, because I'm taking you to a show this
show.
weekend.
About love.
So we'll look forward to it. And again, break a leg to the cast and crew for
Thank
on Golden Pond. Again, that is Friday and Saturday, 7 o'clock curtain, 2:30 matinee on Sunday. And again, thanks to Chris for being here with us this month. We'll be back with you again in April. We're not sure where we're going to be yet or what we're going to be doing, but we're going to figure something out because, again, we want to try to showcase some of the different things. I'm really looking forward to being out here in June because I'm hoping that we can involve some of the kids when we're out here, and maybe we'll do that one a little earlier in the day, but we'll see if we can get some of the kiddos to maybe give us a little preview or show off some of
could
their
do that.
acting skills or
We sure
whatever.
could do that.
So it'll be a lot of fun. So again, thank you so much for having us every other
Thank you.
month, and thank you the Huber for underwriting us to be able to be out here. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. If again you're not watching us live, because this will be, of course, uploaded and it'll be available on the HIX-TV YouTube channel in the Video on Demand library, and we'll also put it on SMTA Channel 8 and Mediacom Channel 12. So plenty of opportunity to watch and keep up to date with what's going on in the Huber, although you probably won't be able to come see on Golden Pond by the time you watch it because after Sunday it's all done. But all the rest of the information will still be good. And we'll look forward to being back with you here again at the Huber in April. And like I said, we'll be up in the museum or in the in the wardrobe, or
Yeah,
I almost said
somewhere.
the clothes closet. That was
The costume room,
Yeah,
yeah.
the costume archive, or who knows. But again, thanks to Chris so much for being here. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Please come out and enjoy on Golden Pond this weekend here at the Huber Opera House. And until we talk to you again next time for Hicksville Community Television, I'm Bill Murphy. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day as well, and we'll talk to you again soon right here on HIX-TV.